Welcome to Reflect with Ed Fassio. Get ready to experience one of the world's first 100% digitally generated podcasts, where we take a step back, dive deep, and strive to learn new things. Join us as we unpack thought-provoking ideas, personal reflections, and inspiring stories to help you stay in the know. Reflect is brought to you by the minds at ByteBrain and powered by emerging technologies from Google, HeyGen, OpenAI, and 11 Labs. Thanks for tuning in. Now, relax and prepare to reflect.
Okay, so you've really sent us down a rabbit hole this time.
A rabbit hole.
Yeah, all this crypto stuff, articles, videos, even like a whole Wikipedia deep dive. We've got investors, economists, fraud, environmental impact. Phew. It's a lot.
It really is. And it's all changing so fast.
That's the wild part, right?
To even try to understand it, you've got to look at the potential and the risks.
Totally. I mean, we're not just talking about a new app here. This could be the future of money.
Exactly.
So how do we cut through all the hype? What's real? What's risky? And what does it all mean for, you listening right now? That's our mission for this deep dive.
I'm with you. Let's do it.
All right. So the very beginning, Bitcoin, 2009. First cryptocurrency, right?
Patient zero.
Huh. And then, boom. It's like someone fired a starting gun and thousands of these cryptocurrencies just exploded onto the scene.
It's been wild to watch.
Wikipedia says over 25,000 different ones as of June 2023. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, even Dogecoin, the meme one.
And each one trying to do something different, which is what makes this so fascinating. At its core, cryptocurrency is challenging how we think about money. Like, the whole system.
It's like, wait, you don't need a bank for this?
Right. It challenges that traditional financial system that everyone's used to. And that's why governments don't know what to do. How do you regulate something that's trying to reinvent the wheel?
It's a mess.
Yeah.
And we even saw how skeptical some people are. That DW documentary, the European Central Bank, they basically called Bitcoin a speculative bubble. And those were the words of Ulrich Beinzel, one of their bigwigs.
Yeah, and then there's Warren Buffett. He wouldn't take all the Bitcoin in the world for $25, he said.
That's wild. One of the most successful investors ever.
Exactly.
So which is it? The future of finance or a bubble about to burst? I mean, the value can change by thousands of dollars in a day.
Which is what makes it so risky. Not just for us, but for whole countries.
Yeah.
Like El Salvador, they made Bitcoin legal tender.
Oh, right. The documentary went to El Zante, right?
Yeah, they showed that pupusa vendor, Maria Guerre, uses Bitcoin every day. When it was high, she was making a killing. Then it crashed, and she took a huge hit.
Oof. So it's like the ultimate high risk, high reward.
Exactly. And that's the problem, right? Trying to run a business when your cash register's value is all over the place. It shows you the good and the bad of widespread crypto all in one story.
So can Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency really become stable enough to be like the main currency? I mean, especially with all that volatility.
It's a big question.
And here's the thing. It's not just Bitcoin anymore, is it?
Oh, no, not even close.
Ethereum, Litecoin, Dogecoin, and those are just the famous ones. Wikipedia even talks about stable coins that are linked to like the US dollar or something to avoid the crazy ups and downs. It's a lot.
It really is. And it's what makes this whole thing so interesting for everyone, really. Whether you just want to dip your toe in the water, you want to dive into the deep end. It's a fascinating world.
So we got to talk more about all these different types of crypto, right?
Yeah.
What makes them different?
Well, it all goes back to that technology I mentioned.
Blockchain.
Exactly. Bitcoin might be the big name everyone knows, but blockchain, that's the real revolution.
Okay, so like, explain it to me like I'm 5. What is blockchain?
All right, imagine a digital ledger. Right. But instead of one person holding it, it's copied across tons of computers, like a whole network.
Okay.
And every single transaction, it gets recorded on that ledger, all secured by crazy complicated cryptography, makes it super secure.
So instead of a bank tracking my money, it's like the entire internet is keeping track.
Kinda. And because it's spread out, there's no single point of failure. Way harder to tamper with.
Makes sense.
That's why people think it could make the entire internet more trustworthy.
And that's where we go beyond just money, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Council on Foreign Relations report, even they were talking about blockchain, like for international trade.
Absolutely. Imagine like supply chains that are totally see-through. You could track a product from the factory to your doorstep. No fakes, everything ethically sourced. Or think about voting. Every vote, impossible to mess with because it's all on the blockchain.
Okay, yeah, now I see the potential.
Right.
But we can't just ignore the bad stuff.
Yeah.
The FTX thing from the documentary. Sam Bankman-Fried, basically stealing billions.
Yeah, and that's the thing. New technology, it can always be used in bad ways.
So true.
That's why the lack of rules around crypto is scary, makes it ripe for scams. The SEC is trying to catch up, but it's tough.
So buyer beware, big time.
Yeah, research, understand the risks, don't bet the farm, all that good stuff.
Exactly. But then there's the environmental cost. I
Yeah.
mean, the documentary with that story from Plattsburgh, New York,
Oh, yeah.
that Bitcoin mine using enough energy to power a city.
Insane. And driving up costs for everyone. Poor Colin Reed, the mayor, he was
Yeah.
fuming.
I don't blame him. It's all this cool tech, but it's powered by, what, coal?
Yeah.
Feels wrong.
It's a huge concern, you're right. Bitcoin mining uses this proof-of-work system, needs a ton of computing power, which equals a ton of energy, and a lot of it is still coming from fossil fuels.
Not good. So is there a way to make it more sustainable?
People are trying. That's actually where some of those other cryptocurrencies come in. Remember we talked about stable coins and all the other kinds?
Yeah.
Well, some of those, they're built differently. Like Ethereum, they switched to a proof-of-stake system, uses way less energy.
Proof of stake. It sounds so futuristic. So how does it even work? Is it like magic?
Not magic, but pretty clever. Instead of all that mining, proof of stake is all about users putting up their own crypto to validate transactions. The more you stake, the better your chances of getting to validate a block and own rewards.
So it's like putting your money where your mouth is, but with crypto.
Exactly. And it cuts out the need for all that computing power, which is huge for the environment.
Makes sense. If crypto wants to be the future, it's got to be a sustainable future, right?
Absolutely. And speaking of the future, we can't forget about those central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. Remember those from the article?
Oh, yeah. Those were wild. Government-backed digital money. Sounds like something straight out of sci-fi.
Right. Basically, it's like a digital dollar or euro, but instead of coming from a bank, it's issued directly by the government.
So were they good or bad?
It's tricky. They could be a way to make things more efficient, fight financial crime, reach people who don't use banks, but then there's the privacy issue.
Right, because then the government's even more in control. Right.
Exactly. Some people see it as a good thing, others not so much. It's really a question of how much control we're willing to give up for stability and efficiency.
Wow. So we've got crypto trying to disrupt everything and governments trying to create their own digital money. It's like a race to the future.
And we're right in the middle of it.
My head is spinning with all this stuff. What's the average person supposed to do?
Honestly, just learn as much as you can. The more you know about crypto, blockchain, CBDCs, the better prepared you'll be for whatever comes next.
So much for just sticking my money under a mattress.
Right. It's a whole new world of finance out there. Who knows? Maybe you'll even come up with the next big idea.
That's what I'm hoping. Well, that's it for this deep dive into the wild world of cryptocurrency and blockchain.
We've covered a lot of ground.
Thanks for joining us, and remember, stay curious out there.
And informed.